Hey Sagittarius, I'm Empress Rose. Welcome to your tarot reading. We're starting off actually with the oracle decks of Work Your Light and Moonology to get an intuitive vibe of where we're going, and then we'll move on to a more traditional tarot spread. If I don't catch your wavelength or storyline here, check your other major placements. I was thinking about cross-watching recently. It can be not a very good idea. We have such a hard time, not a hard time, but it can be difficult to find readers that connect with you. You may even connect with me some weeks and not other weeks. So trying to guess who's got whose storyline can actually be a little bit, I don't know, difficult. But if you live with someone and you know someone really well, cross-watching is fine. But if this is someone, if you're cross-watching for someone who's at some distance or you don't know very well, you're not involved in their day-to-day, I think you can run the risk of looking for, it's just hard enough to find a reader for yourself, much less trying to guess who's matching someone else's storyline. So just felt compelled to say that. Oh, I love this for you, Sagittarius. Lots of people have been getting this one. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. So something that's been difficult. It's a full moon, so we're completing what there is to know about it, what there is to see about it, what there is to be known about it is coming to fruition, is coming to completion. There may have been a lot of work, a lot of difficulty here, but it's approaching. One thing I love about this card is that it has a gentleness to it. The tough cycle approaches, and the ending approaches you. It's coming towards you. You're not having to go out and seek it. You're not having to go out and cut something off. I mean, we'll see what the other cards say, but you're not having to go make a lot of action and big things. There's a gentle, natural ending, which I prefer, of course, rather than, I think all of us, when we look towards our death day, we would prefer that it be a natural, gentle ending and not necessarily some sort of horrible, traumatic, sudden event. So it's not like, so you've seen this ending coming possibly, and it's approaching all by itself. So, and it's the end of difficulty, right? The end of a difficult thing. So this is to be celebrated. This isn't the end of a wonderful, amazing thing. Well, there might have been elements of that in it, but something that's been difficult, coming to an end. And then we have blue moon, believe in the impossible. So if you were just sitting there going, this is never going to end, this is a possibility that it actually could. So believing the impossible can actually help bring it in, right? Believing that things can happen will change our behavior significantly versus never believing that something can never happen, right? So believing in the impossible, blue moon, maybe something a little bit strange happening, some sort of anomaly or unusual event. And then we have Pleiades, channeling and uplifting humanity. So a conversation that may be happening, I think it'll be very uplifting for people, right? We have that in the verbiage here, uplifting and channeling. To me, that means talking, discussing, maybe even expressing your higher self and your highest ideals. So, and then this is going to be beneficial for everyone. There's a sense of elation here, and it could be the end of this tough cycle, something that you did not think was possible happening, and some sort of conversation that brings in some elation. So I love that for you, Sagittarius. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna do an extra shuffle here. All right, Sagittarius, what's our traditional tarot spread talking about? Your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Well, that's curious. We have an unintended reversal here. So fascinating. All right, in your recent past, we have the Star card. So this is a moment where maybe you were in the spotlight. The light was shining on you. Maybe you were put on the spot. This is also dreams coming true, being in the flow of something. There's this card in this depiction is a very peaceful, happy, joyous vibe. You are in the flow. You are exactly where you need to be, exactly where you want to be. So in the past, you've had this experience. You know what this looks like. You know what this feels like, being exactly where you want to be, being exactly... and there's a blessing here. There's a sense of feeling blessed, and which has not ever been a favorite phrase of mine, but here we are. There's a sense of feeling blessed, or perhaps even being a blessing to somebody else. So hold on. Okay, so in the past, you've been in this flow, this sense of interconnectedness, exactly where you're meant to be, exactly. Everything felt really good, like it was right in the flow, like this was almost a promise fulfilled from the universe. This was something that you wanted, a dream, a wish fulfilled, and it made you feel very connected to the universe and to the flow of things, and very much in the flow. But we go from that to this Five of Pentacles, which is being left out, feeling abandoned, right? We do have support here, but it's almost like we don't even notice it, right? It's a mom and a child, and many people don't even notice. Well, some mothers are not supportive, period, and others have a variation of levels of support here. So, even so, it's not something we always notice or even are grateful for, because it's just there. It just seems to, have come with being alive. But there is like the Five of Pentacles is poverty, is abandonment, feeling left out. There's a lot of growth and a lot of life, but none of it seems to be for you. And there's sort of some sadness here, some frustration. There's just something that's happened where, you went from being in this beautiful flow, this interconnectedness, to being outside of it, to being the outsider, to being left out. There is comfort here. There is someone here with you. You do have support, whether you know it or not, or feel it or not. You do have support here. But there is a sense of everybody else getting what they wanted, but not you. And yet you had it. You had it at one point. And now you don't. Now it's been removed. That flow of life has sort of flowed you out and away from some sort of abundance, some sort of this sense of connection, this sense of having what you need, this sense of being right where you're meant to be. It no longer feels that way. There's a sense of feeling shut out, of feeling left out here. In your hopes, your fears, your inner landscape, the Seven of Pentacles is a card of hope. This is a card of waiting, having put a bunch of work into something and continuing to wait. And so you may be afraid that this is never going to come to fruition. You're never going to see the fruits of these labors. And that's what it's feeling like with this Five of Pentacles, is that maybe you have put a lot of work into something, but you're not feeling the connection. You're not feeling that you're, like, how long are you going to wait, right? This reminds me of that reggae song, I don't want to wait in vain for your love. So there's a sense, or for your blessing, or for, like, I still, you did something, you did some project as a metaphor, right? We can talk about this. You did some project, it felt like it was wonderful, like it was exactly meant for you. No, but you haven't been paid, you're left out, you're broke, you haven't seen the check yet, and you're like, how long am I going to wait for this check? Is the check actually in the mail? They keep telling me the check's in the mail, but is it actually in the mail? So there's some doubts and some fears that you're waiting in vain for something, that you've put a lot of work into something. There could be some impatience. You could be dealing with a level of impatience and frustration about an issue having not borne the fruit that you were expecting, and you waited a long time for the fruit, and now it looks like maybe this fruit's not even coming. It's so you're worried, and like, how long do you wait? How long do you wait here? How long do you stand and wait for the fruits of your labors to come in? The Seven of Pentacles is about work having been put in, but the reward not having been received yet. This is really weighing on your mind and very frustrating for you. In the situation, we have 10 of Wands. So this is an ongoing burden. Normally, 10 of Wands talks about carrying a burden, but we've come to the end. It's a completion. We're done with this. We're done carrying this. But in the reverse here, we have it's not done. You're still carrying a burden. You're still carrying a weight that wasn't yours to carry necessarily. It was somebody else's. And it's still something still very much weighing on you, and very much difficult for you to carry. Although the Ten of Wands in reverse does have a sense of gravity, this this natural, this approaching of an end of a burden. Like, I can also see this as these wands releasing themselves. They're releasing you. You don't have to release those wands. You don't have to put the backpack on. The wands are in the process of releasing you. You're finished carrying this burden, this tough cycle. It could be finishing out here, and it's a natural process of letting go of these things. They weren't yours to carry anyway. It might feel a little weird, a little strange, a little lighter. I want to say you might feel a little lightheaded or a little weird as this burden gets lifted from you. But the Ten of Wands, it's not like you're not even making a choice here, because the upright would be you deciding that you're done. This is like the sticks have decided to leave you alone. You're not carrying this anymore. In your environment, you have the Ace of Cups, a new emotional beginning. So I love that we've got this Ten of Wands. It's in the reverse, which is a more natural ending. Again, a more peaceful ending. You're not making the choices. The choices are being made for you as to what's coming to an end. And then in your environment, we have a new emotional beginning, a new emotional offering. This could just be you having the gift of freedom, having the gift of peace coming into your life, right? There's a divinity to this. There's a divine timing here. I love that it comes under the star. We have this flow, and now we have a new opportunity to engage with the flow. But I do feel like it's a bit of a solo endeavor. Normally, this is going to be like a new relationship coming in, a new offering of love in your environment. But I think there's a new offering for some sort of new emotional start here that's not necessarily, doesn't have to be with somebody else, but there's an opportunity here that's being presented to you for something new, a new way of being, possibly a new emotional beginning, a new it could be a relationship, it could be a new relationship being offered to you, one that's fresh, but there's this overflowing joy. So there's something in your environment that's I think helping you to connect with a different energy, or offering that different energy to you to pull you out of this sort of desolation. The burden itself is going away. You've waited a long time for this. And there's an opportunity to start anew, to start again. Of course, every morning, every day is a new day, is a new way to start again. Our momentum can be redirected into something new. So every time we wake up, we have the opportunity to be a new person, to decide all anew who we're going to be and how the flow is going to go that day. So some days we feel that choice more than other days, but overall, that is the essence of a brand new morning. So this is, it's not that the past goes away completely. It's not that the past vanishes from your memory. It's still there, but it's causing this growth. It's almost calling in this growth and this new emotional care. And it's for you. It's for you. There's an opportunity for you to have a fresh, new beginning in a relationship, or just even your relationship with yourself. I see here too. It's divine timing. It's a continuation of this star card, of this blessings card. Even though a lot of stuff has gone on, it's like maybe you thought the new beginning was in the past, but this is a new beginning now. And it somehow relates to the star card, to something that's gone on in the past. Your to-do list is very curious. It's very strange here. We have Ace of Swords reverse. And how I take this as your to-do list is you don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to rethink everything. You don't have to rehash everything. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to completely understand. Allow ambiguity. Allow a lack of understanding of every aspect of the situation that you're in and what's going on here. Allow a lot of ambiguity. don't try to figure everything out. Don't try to figure this out. Don't overthink it. Don't, right? Because our swords are thinking about things. And this is like the half blading or whatever, where he holds the sword for more precision. We don't have to, this to me is such an unusual, this is such an anomaly, this card coming out reverse here, and this card in particular, as your to-do list. But I do think it's allowing ambiguity, allowing things to be not understood, and accepting that you're not going to understand everything that happened here. You're not going to understand all the whys and hows and wherefores and what everybody did. And I'm not even seeing a new conversation here. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to talk about this journey where you've been. Normally I would be like, but we are talking about it here. But maybe this is talk about it, but don't overthink it. It's definitely don't overthink it. Allow for ambiguity, allow for uncertainty, allow for a lack of clarity. Just accept that sometimes our closure isn't going to come with grand statements of clarity, right? Because in this 10 of Wands and this full moon in Capricorn, I'm seeing a closure of some kind here. But this is, don't ask for clarity. Don't ask for certainty. Just accept that this is a situation that's not going to offer it. And so maybe you have a new start with someone that abandoned you in the past, or left or something, and maybe there's a new start being offered here. And this would be a very strange message to me, though, but the message nonetheless of you don't have to know all the facts. You don't have to know everything about it. You don't have to have this conversation either. And allowing ambiguity and being comfortable with ambiguity and with not knowing certain things. And then again, in the theme of this whole reading, Sagittarius, we have the World card here. We have the big closure, big rotation back at the beginning. But everything's different. We're different. We've been on this whole experience. I consider the major arcana to be sort of like the hero's journey, right? So we start off with the 0, the Fool card, the decision to leap forward into a different world. And here it is, the journey is coming to a close. A full thing has come to a close. We've come full circle. We've come full round. There have been adventures and misadventures. There's been thrills and spills and chills, and there's been certainty and knowledge and wisdom. There's been strength. You've been tested. You've been there's been patience. There's been wisdom. There's been beauty. There's been introspection. It's been a whole journey. There's been a whole journey, and it's coming to a close. So again, with this World card, and there's been things that have happened to you that have been out of your control, that have been out of, you haven't had a say, and yet you've had to endure them, and you've had to learn from them, and you've had to experience these things. So something comes full circle, which is what I'm seeing here with the Star card coming back down to this Ace of Cups card, right? We have like this whole flow thing that we're in, and then now there's an opportunity for that flow to come directly to us. Some part of it, not the whole thing, but some part of that does slide into place. But we're not being asked to not ask too many questions, to not need certainty, to not need clarity, full clarity for something. But we've come full circle here. And it's very natural. The whole thing is very natural. Right, we have the end of a tough cycle approaching. That's exactly what's approaching here. But you need to let go of any need for certainty or clarity, or you can some. But what I'm saying here is just you don't need it, and it's not a demand that you're going to be making of the situation, or that you should be making of this situation. But we do have a tough cycle coming to a close here, and there's just this natural grace to it that I love seeing here with these 3 cards: the World card, the full moon in Capricorn, and the reverse 10 of Wands. There's a beautiful, graceful ending to something that's been very difficult. It may come in the form of a conversation, but we can't be too demanding in that conversation. Allow the conversation to be light. This may have gone on for a very long time. Yeah. But release the need for certainty, for clarity, for... I mean, we do need to be demanding of the truth, but this card here is just like, maybe we don't need the whole truth, nothing but the truth, right? And maybe that's not even available in this situation. Maybe the other parties involved or the other situations involved just don't even have that to give. So to continue demanding clarity or full understanding is it's just not, it's literally not in the cards. So then maybe it's just not there to be given or to be received. So asking for that would be pointless, and it will delay the ending here, delay this closure that you seek. So, all right, I hope that was helpful, Sagittarius. Thank you for your likes, subscribes, and comments, and I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.